On Instagram at The Hill Knocks. Menu at thehillknocks.com.
Support for WUTK comes from Fieldhouse Social, the modern sports bar next to campus at University Commons. Fieldhouse Social serves American craft fare such as burgers, wings, and more with high tops around the bar, a separate dining area, and a center lounge with leather chairs and couches in front of their 23-foot LED TV wall for Tennessee and pro sports. Fieldhouse Social is an outdoor patio with trivia twice a week and sponsors Wednesday's Rock Solid Sports. FieldhouseSocial.com.
It's Wednesday, time for Rock Solid Sports.
Pitch hit high in the air into left field, and that ball is gone. George Beck has given Tennessee the lead. Christian Scott, the leap at the fence. He robs a home run.
Sponsored by Fieldhouse Social, the modern sports bar next to campus at University Commons. FieldhouseSocial.com.
Ben Joyce kicks and delivers. Strike 3.
Rock Solid Sports, the only show with a home field advantage for UT Athletics. Here's tonight's host.
And welcome in to the Wednesday night edition of Rock Solid Sports here on WTK 90.3 The Rock. I am your host, Chris Clarke, and I've got a wonderful cast of everyone here tonight. I have our Friday night host in the building, Chloe Levering. Say hi, Chloe.
Hello. I'm so excited to be here on the Wednesday show because we have not had a Wednesday show in what feels like forever, because I think it's been since school is still in session. Happy first day of classes, by the way.
Absolutely, to everyone out there, all the students out there grinding. Got up today, had to go to them classes, first time in quite a while, of course. So happy to be back. Happy to have everyone back on campus, of course. That being said, I have, as well as part of the crew today, we have Justin Clemmer and Dominic Throngarden. We're also throwing Devin Hoke on there as well. We have got quite a loaded cast. Want to send it out to the guys at Fieldhouse Social real quick. Guys, how are we doing?
Wednesday night at Fieldhouse Social, and that means trivia. It's about to get started up here any minute now. And, another great crowd here tonight at Fieldhouse Social. So after y'all listen to this, come on down.
Yeah, just a great time here as always. Never fails.
Yes, absolutely. Happy to have you guys on. And I'll tell you what, we are also happy to have on an esteemed guest for tonight. We are back doing Wednesday night Ice Bears edition, and we have the new head coach of the Knoxville Ice Bears, Brent Clarke, on with us. Coach, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining the show. We are so excited to have you on, and thank you, for the partnership that the Ice Bears always do with us. And it's just, we love it so much. We love having you guys come on and talk with us. Again, that being said, we're going to get into it, Coach. First and foremost, congratulations, of course, on on taking the head coaching role for the Ice Bears. I know you seem very excited about it, about your return to Knoxville. Tell us, what's it like to be back as the head man of the Ice Bears?
I'm very excited to get that call to take over as Ice Bears head coach, and just thankful for the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you what, I think Knoxville is excited to have you back. If I can speak for everyone out there, it's great to have someone coming at the helm that has had some recent success, as you have just had going back to last year. Coach, obviously these are no shortcomings. This is you being able to take teams and obviously show what you can do with them. Tell us, coming off of last year, the expectations coming into this season for this Ice Bears team, and where you guys think you're at right now. And then I will kick it over to my panelists to throw some questions your way as well.
Yeah, no, I think we're in a good spot. Going to bring back some good players from last season and add a few new faces, and just kind of build pieces to a puzzle that fits Knoxville's mold for this season, and do our best to bring something home at the end of the year.
Awesome. Chloe has got a question for you, Coach.
Hi, Coach. It is so glad. I'm so glad to be talking to you. I'm so glad we have Ice Bears Wednesdays back again. I was just wondering, what's it like being back in Knoxville, and of course, just with the team itself, but then beyond hockey, just being back in Knoxville. I mean, what's it like to be back? I know you were previously in Watertown, New York, but how is it being back here in Tennessee?
Yeah, it's a great feeling. I can't wait to actually touch feet down in Knoxville. I'm just currently still in New York at the moment. But yeah, when I touch down there, I'm going to try to get in there next week and get the lay of the land again. And loved my time in Knoxville 2 seasons ago. And yeah, I just feel grateful for the opportunity, and I can't wait to build a good squad here for the fans.
Yeah, 100%, Coach. And I've got Devin. Can you hear us on your end, sir?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Devin, absolutely. Good to have you in. And Devin, I believe you've got some questions for Coach Clarke as well.
Yes. Yes. Very happy to be talking to you, Coach Clarke. I'm going to try my hardest, of course. I don't know why. All you coaches, you have these C names. We went from Coach Carr to Coach Clarke. Both, of course, sound similar. I'm going to try extremely hard not to say Coach Carr. I promise you that. But I had a question about, coming into, with this team, thanks to all the success they had, their first regular season title since 2009 happened last season. So you're coming on to a team that's still riding high off a lot of success of last season. How do you manage those expectations heading into this season?
Expectations are going to be high, exactly what you just said there. I mean, they're coming off a great season. Coach Carr did a fantastic job with that team. And, it might not have been the result that they wanted, but sometimes that happens in hockey. It's a game. And, we've just put our first foot forward and try to build for this season and hopefully have the same success and continue further on.
Dominic, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so Coach, my main question is, coming down back into Knoxville, what kind of culture do you want to create in this locker room, and where do you want to take this team?
Sorry, did you say culture? I couldn't really hear you there.
Yeah, culture.
Yeah, no, I just want to have a solid locker room. I like to have a tough team, and everybody's like a family. The minute that gets estranged, I kind of move some of those guys out. I just kind of want that room to be so tight-knit that it's an unbelievable feeling to get there in the mornings and you're there with your family, your brothers beside you, and you take that out onto the ice, and that can fill winning ways. So.
Hey, Coach Clarke, Justin here. Excited for you to come back to Knoxville. But for the listeners who don't know, myself included, what is the difference between Knoxville and Watertown?
I mean, other than the weather, there's a lot. They're still both considered single A, but it's definitely a step up and going to a first class organization for sure in Knoxville. I mean, Watertown was great as well, and I love my time there. But it's just time to move on, and basically excited to be in Knoxville. And the level of hockey in the Federal League really isn't as bad as people think. It's actually a good quality product now, and you might see the odd face up there in the SPHL coming up, but it's good hockey. But I'm excited to get up to the SPHL level and a little bit higher level, and see the speed that's up there, and bring in some good players to make this team a winner.
Well, I feel like a really big difference that would be between Knoxville and Watertown is also that Knoxville is a big sports town for sure. I mean, I'm not sure about Watertown, but with the SEC school, with the University of Tennessee in here, how does that does that somehow, like Dom was talking about the culture, does that somehow affect that, and just being in a town where people love sports and sporting events?
Oh, the support around the town, even when I was there 2 years ago, was amazing. Everywhere you go, everyone knows who the Ice Bears are, and the platform of all kinds of sports, the football and everything there. And it's an amazing city. And I'm excited to get down there.
And Coach, I know there obviously it's an exciting atmosphere here. I tell you, like, I've been to numerous Ice Bears games myself as a fan. We do cover them as a station here as well, which is tremendous that we get the opportunity to do that. But even to go as a fan is just wonderful. We love the experiences that the Ice Bears games can bring in the atmosphere. It really can get rowdy in there. And that's what you want for a hockey atmosphere, I think. And Coach, I know you can't see me right now, but everyone on StreamYard out there and everyone can see me. I am currently definitely rocking my Knoxville Ice Bears hat. I am excited to have another great season coming toward us this year. And again, it's going to be great to have you at the helm there. I just wanted to, I guess, ask, you've had, of course, not just the previous success with last year, you also had coached, if I'm not mistaken, Elmira of the FPHL and guided them to the 2019 Commissioner's Cup Finals. What's been your secret to success, man? I know you're not going to give us the whole spill here. You can't, because we don't want that information getting out. But what's the key to being able to come into a different atmosphere and just be able to pick up and know exactly what to do?
Yeah, just you mentioned Elmira there. I mean, what a spot that was for me when I went in there. There was a brand new team. Inaugural season, you got to start from scratch with no players. And I've done that several times. I also won a championship in 2015 with Watertown, the first year startup as well. I don't know. I just have a knack of putting teams together and finding the right pieces that mold teams, and just had some good success and good luck. So hopefully I can continue that coming up here. So.
Hey, Coach, yeah, and we are, again, just I can't say it enough. We are definitely looking forward to that. I think we just have kind of one final question for you. What about the Ice Bears job was it that, kind of made you interested in really coming back? I know you've been here before. I know we've talked about the atmosphere. Was there anything else to go along with that you said, you know what, I want to be back in Knoxville because I really think that's a place where I can go and have success as well?
Yeah, no, when I was there 2 years ago, I was an assistant role, and I just loved everything about it. I just liked from front office down, the ownership. And that's not just to pump their tires. They really do a good job. And it's just, it's electric to be around when you're the staff are, getting wins up there too and doing their stuff. And it comes down to the locker room and feeds off the guys too. They see all those fans in the stands, they do a hard job getting those guys in there. And that place does get rowdy, like you said. And it's hard not to want to go back to a place where you have such great fans. And I actually think I even saw one guy who used to always wear a panda head, and I call my little guy Panda. So I always notice that guy over in the corner, and he's loving it. So, I mean, it's good to see fans supporting the team. And, I can't wait to get going on October 21st here. So.
Yeah, thank you. Go ahead, David. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. I mean, if I may, if Coach Clarke still has a little bit more time, I was hoping to ask one more question just about the team heading into the. So Coach, looking at this roster, and last season seemed like defensively this team was very good thanks to Mark Price, won SPHL Defensive Player of the Year. What would you say is now the main strength of this Knoxville Ice Bears team, whether it's defense, offense, or goaltending?
I'm just looking at the roster myself today here, really, just getting the lay of the land for the players and going through their stats, going through little things on each player to see where we're at with certain things. I mean, I can't give you a full answer on that, but I mean, obviously you want to start with your goaltending out and then your D and then your offense. You need those offense goals. And I want to have strengths all over the field. I want to have, a good defensive core, but then also, an explosive offense, but with a mixture of some toughness and I just think the product that the fans are going to see, they're going to be excited to come to Ice Bear games like they always are. And hopefully we get a good result.
Yes. And I think we are all hoping for the same, of course. Coach Clarke, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to speak to us. I can speak for everyone here when I say we are certainly looking forward to another great season from the Ice Bears. Looking forward to having you at the helm and as well as having you joining us on Wednesdays. Again, we appreciate that partnership so much. It means very much to us as young journalists. So thank you again, Coach Clarke, and we will be speaking with you again soon.
Thanks for having me, guys. Have a good day.
Absolutely. That was Coach Clarke of the Knoxville Ice Bears, newly instated. It is going to sort of reinstated, but it is gonna be an interesting season. That's most definitely for sure. Again, we appreciate his willingness to come on here and talk with us and share everything with you guys. So that being said, we are going to cut it to a quick break. And on the other side, we're going to get into some Vol athletics. Of course, we have soccer and volleyball that are kicking off. We've got all the inside news on what you can expect from the upcoming games this week and this weekend. And we'll also get into a little bit of football. Here we are 8 days away. We are all chomping at the bit for the first game of the year. Stay with us. This is Rock Solid Sports Wednesday night edition, WTK 90.3.
Hey, what's up? It's Trevor from Moon Taxi. This is Volunteer Radio. Tell your smart speaker to play 90.3, The Rock.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Alan Doyle right here.
And I'm Daryl Power. We're with Great Big C.
And there's nothing more important, ladies and gentlemen, than understanding every culture from every nation. We support Artists Against Racism.
Together, we are stronger.
Artists Against Racism. Check us out at artistsagainstracism.org.
This is Chris Lesson Jake listening to 90.3 FM, Knoxville.
Knoxville, be sure to tune in Wednesday nights from 8 until 10 p.m. for The Alternative, sponsored by Bliss and Tory Mason Shoes on Gate Street and in West Town Mall. And Bliss Home at the Gallery Shopping Center, also sponsored by Boyd's Chicken Grill Bar and Live Music Venue in the heart of Knoxville's Old City. The Alternative features 2 hours of the best in Americana music from the station who first brought Knoxville music about bands from back in the alt-country days, like the Jayhawks, Uncle Tupelo, Steve Earle, and Jason and the Scorchers, to 90s Americana like the V-Roys, Whiskey Town, Lucinda Williams, Sunvold, and others, to modern-day Americana musicians like Molly Tuttle, Tyler Childers, Casey Musgrave, Sturgill Simpson, Billy Strings, and the Punch Brothers. You'll also get classic Americana like Johnny Cash, the band, and Emmylou Harris, and there's always Patsy Cline at 9. Tune in Wednesday nights at 8 for The Alternative. Sponsored by Boyd's Chicken Grill, Bliss Home, and Tory Mason Shoes, and only on 90.3 The Rock, UT's College of Rock.
The Rock thanks the UT Athletic Department for their support. Tickets for the 2022 UT Volunteers football home opener Thursday, September 1st versus Ball State at 7 p.m. are on sale now at allvols.com. Student ticket request period is August 24th and 25th at bigorangechicks.utk.edu. Tune in to WUTK's Rock Solid Sports for football coverage all season long. 90.3 The Rock says, go Vols.
Volunteer Radio remains on the air thanks to support from Tennessee Smokies Baseball, the AA Southern League affiliate of the Chicago Cubs, whose 2022 regular season schedule features 6-game homestands Tuesdays through Sundays at nearby Smokies Stadium in Kodak against the Chattanooga Lookouts, Mississippi Braves, Birmingham Barons, and more. WUTK's Rock Solid Sports will cover Smokies Baseball all season long. SmokiesBaseball.com, and a link is at WUTKRadio.com. WUTK thanks Cool Beans, 1817 Lake Avenue, 1 block south of the Strip, for sponsoring and hosting the Monday night Rock Solid Sports broadcast at 7 p.m. Cool Beans is the pregame and postgame location for UT football, and Knoxville's home for the NFL Sunday Ticket, Titans football on the big screen, and more. Rock Solid Sports kicks off Monday Night Football with the show's live broadcast from 7 to 8 Monday nights at Cool Beans. Cool Beans is 21 and over after 9 p.m. with a full and late night menu. CoolBeansBar.com or their Facebook page.
The Rock thanks the Knoxville Ice Bears Southern Professional Hockey League team for their support. The 2022-23 home ice season from October through April includes games with SPHL rivals Fayetteville, Huntsville, Roanoke, and more at the Civic Coliseum downtown. Single game and season tickets are at KnoxvilleIceBears.com or 865-525-PUCK. Link is available at WTKRadio.com And Rock Solid Sports features Ice Bears Wednesdays with news and updates. Volunteer Radio says, go Ice Bears.
Support for WUTK comes from Fieldhouse Social, the modern sports bar next to campus at University Commons. Fieldhouse Social serves American craft fare such as burgers, wings, and more with high tops around the bar, a separate dining area, and a center lounge with leather chairs and couches in front of their 23-foot LED TV wall for Tennessee and pro sports. Fieldhouse Social is an outdoor patio with trivia twice a week and sponsors Wednesday's Rock Solid Sports. FieldhouseSocial.com.
90.3 The Rock thanks the UT Athletic Department for their support. Season tickets for the 2022 UT Volunteers football season are on sale now. The next phase of Neyland Stadium renovations will be ready for the new season with home games against Florida, Alabama, Kentucky, and more. Info at allvols.com. A link is at WUTKradio.com. 90.3 The Rock wishes Coach Heupel and the football Vols good luck this season on the gridiron.
WUTK thanks Cool Beans, 1817 Lake Avenue, 1 block south of the Strip, for sponsoring and hosting the Monday night Rock Solid Sports broadcast at 7 p.m. Cool Beans is the pregame and postgame location for UT football and Knoxville's home for the NFL Sunday Ticket, Titans football on the big screen, and more. Rock Solid Sports kicks off Monday Night Football with the show's live broadcast from 7 to 8 Monday nights at Cool Beans. Cool Beans is 21 and over after 9 p.m. with a full and late night menu. CoolBeansBar.com or their Facebook page.
And welcome back to the Wednesday night edition of Rock Solid Sports right here on WUTK 90.3 The Rock. We thank you all so much for rocking with us tonight. I am your host, Chris Clarke. I have, again, our Friday night host here in the building, Chloe Levering.
Hello.
Chloe says hello. And I'm going to kick it over to our guys over at Fieldhouse Social, our wonderful Wednesday night sponsor. Guys, how are things going over at Fieldhouse?
I'm still having a good time over here. Trivia's heating up as it does on Wednesday nights. So, once you're done listening to the show, come on over, try to win something.
Nothing else. Got some early going on the TV. Pennsylvania just loaded the bases with a walk. It's looking a little rough. But Texas is up 1-0 against Pennsylvania in the Little League World Series.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you for keeping us updated on that as well. I don't know. I don't know the ratio of people out there that pay attention to it, but I know it's actually a higher amount than we probably think. That is actually I think many people enjoy the Little League World Series. It's so overlooked, but it's so cool because this is where a lot of your current major league baseball stars got their start, was playing in things like that. So that is awesome to hear. Thank you again, Dominic. And guys, we're going to go ahead and get into some UT sports. We have got some football news going on. There were 8 Vols that were selected to the preseason coaches, all SEC teams. 2 made the first team, 2 on the second team, and 4 on the third team. I don't know if you guys heard about this. It obviously just came out, but I think that's a very good and welcoming sign for the football team, as, again, we are now 8 days away from the start of the season, and it is quickly approaching. What do you guys think about the 8 Vols getting selected to the all-SEC teams? And also, we'll get into discussing some positioning of players right now. There's a lot of movement going on, players that are coming and going. I will kick it over to Chloe first, and then we'll go out to the guys out there at Fieldhouse again.
Yeah, of course. We'll talk about the specific positions and players in a second, but the thing about Tennessee football for me is I feel like Tennessee football has always had the talent and always had, some of the best recruits out there. It's just always been about, it's just always been about the coaching, or it's either been about the team as a whole, the team energy, stuff like that. Obviously, we saw that with Jeremy Pruitt, in my opinion, and kind of hope for Josh Heupel to rebuild, and I think that he did. But yeah, it's no surprise to me for sure. Tennessee football has always had talent as long as I can remember, individual talent. And, it just makes you more excited for the season for sure. Just looking ahead, and hopefully that talent will be put to use this year.
Oh yeah, one thing that stuck out to me was Jabari Small being on the list. So it's a great thing. I think he gets overlooked a lot of times because when you talk about Tennessee football, you're talking about Hooker, the fast-paced offense, Tillman going deep, or whoever we got just running those go routes now. And yeah, it's just a great thing for Small. Our running game really is underrated, and we got some young guys like Jalen Wright and I forget the freshman's name. Dylan Sampson. He's been making a lot of noise at practice. I actually have a friend who does video records practices, and he said a lot of good things about Dylan Sampson. He even said he'd be a second-round pick in the NFL one day, but we'll see. But things are heading up for Tennessee football.
That's quite an accolade there. And let me just address this real quick before I let the guys continue on. I do want to mention the guys, the players that placed on their respective all-SEC teams. First team was Cedric Tillman and Byron Young. Almost no surprise there, of course, right? Second team coming in was Hendon Hooker, of course, our guy, and Darnell Wright, offensive lineman, looking to be quite the leader this year for a line that is seeing 4 of 5 guys returning. And on the third all-SEC team, we have Jabari Small, as Justin just mentioned there. Jeremy Banks, the ever-familiar name. I swear Jeremy's been here 8 years already. We have Trayvon Flowers and Paxton Brooks finishing off the all-SEC teams. Guys, take it away.
Hey, that's guys at all throughout pretty much every single level you can expect. I mean, in the secondary, the defensive line, the linebacker unit, the offensive line, the running game, the passing game, and the punter. So that's a very there's a strong diversity of cast members to be going into this season with, whereas some teams lean so heavily on one thing or the other. That's what pleases me most to hear about this list, is to see that not only is, of course we knew Hooker was going to end up on either the second or third team because of course Bryce Young is in the SEC, but it's so great to see Jabari Small make it. It's so great to see Darnell Wright make it, because it shows that there is the strong possibility for a great running game and for Tennessee's offense to play complementary football, while also the defense having clear leaders at every single level. And of course, seeing a guy on special teams beyond there, I mean, that only makes it that much better.
Yeah, definitely making a lot of great points there.
All right, see this after I'm going to take a short break. First, I'll read off your scores to come in second. Right now, first place with a perfect score of 60.
Can you speak a little louder?
I'm trying hard.
Do you have headphones? Oh, you have AirPods. Okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
Audio setup out here. I'll let someone else take it away for a second.
Yeah. I kind of mentioned this. I think it was back on the Friday show or something. Yeah, Fieldhouse Social, while it's a great event and there's always great things going on down there, especially if I'm not mistaken, trivia nights, what I think is going on behind Dominic there. A great atmosphere, 100%. Not always great for our show sometimes. So sorry about that, but we will obviously we'll get Dominic back here in a second. Thank you again so much for that, for your input as well. Yeah, I think that it's going to be really interesting for the Vols this year. I think I'm very high on the guys that, of course, were chosen for the All-SEC team. I see them as all being very deserving of being able to get that preseason recognition, and I think it's going to pay off well for the Vols as well. Coming into the second year, we're all excited about what we're getting ready to see, hopefully. And that is just that pure excitement continuously brought back. And that's the thing. There's been a lot of inconsistency with this program for quite a while now. But I think year 2, Heupel seems to have definitely started making his, kind of putting down the way he's running this thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm losing words for
Putting his foot down.
In a way, right? He's
in a good way,
yes,
not a stern way.
Anyone that's been around Heupel will tell you he's a great going guy. Like, he really is. He just seems to always be in a pretty jolly mood, minus, of course, after tough losses. that's understandable, right, as a coach. But other than that, he seems like a really great guy to play for. So I think we're all definitely excited. As far as a lot of movement, we've seen things recently, of course, with the Lynn J. Dixon situation there, and unfortunately no longer being with the Vol program now. And that's had some shifting going on amongst the running backs, of course. But the Alex Golesh was very confident in saying that he believes everything's still going to be okay, right? Because, as he said, they're in the same situation now they were in 14 days ago, prior to Dixon even being on campus. So, again, a lot of movement going on. We're still waiting to hear Brew McCoy, if I'm not mistaken. Jury's still out on that. Either you guys possibly have any other input about the whole, especially the Brew McCoy situation, as well as the Lynn J situation?
Yeah. Starting with the Lynn J situation, yeah, really odd situation going on there. Very brief time in Tennessee. There was quite a bit of hype for that for a little bit. I mean, he was a former 4-star. He went to Clemson, who didn't play. He's behind guys like ETN. And then on to the Brew McCoy topic. Yeah, that's also weird too. Like USC's they got to stick up their butt or something. They're just taking their sweet time, and season starts in 8 days. They need to hurry up because Brew McCoy, he'd be on the field, like he'd probably be our wide receiver 3 or 4, and he would help out so much.
Yeah, not surprised with USC not really complying to NCAA. It's not really something they tend to do all that much. It's definitely disappointing in not being able to get Brew McCoy on campus and playing with their team as quick as possible. But this team is looking really solid heading into the season. And as I was mentioning earlier before, the wonderful trivia that makes this place quite fun. The trivia is a lot of fun, I do have to say. Fieldhouse does it right. But I am really interested to see how this team copes with expectations, because last season there wasn't really all that much expectation or pressure. So now that these guys are actually getting recognition from people that aren't on the Rocky Top, it's going to be really interesting to see how they respond to that, because the Rocky Top hype train is going all year long, every single day. But when people start talking positive about Tennessee outside of Tennessee, it's a special day.
Yeah, it really is. And I tell you, this situation has obviously been weird. I mean, there's not been a lot of, talk about what exactly is going on, at least not as far as I've seen about it. But that being said, I mean, Tennessee's gonna be okay as far as moving forward. I don't think they seem concerned about this at all, and I don't think they should be neither. It would have, I think it would have been great to have Lynn J., a person who, did have that experience, was around that kind of a championship atmosphere that, Clemson obviously was establishing there and still has, of course. But it is what it is. You kind of just have to move on from it. And Tennessee is going to do just that. As well as us, we are also going to move on from Vol football. We have got some Vol soccer news, of course. The Lady Vol soccer team got their season going against North Carolina last week. Unfortunately, ended up in a loss in that game. They did play SMU recently, and they were able to play to a draw. It was a 1-1 match there. Jada Thomas with the 60-minute goal. No surprise, she's a baller of all means. Had a 60-minute goal off a Hannah Zaleski corner kick, and that moved her into a tie for 8th all-time at UT with 26 goals. Chloe, I know you obviously follow the soccer team very closely as well. What did you think about the SMU game the other day?
So I actually was at this game. I was working this game as a timeout coordinator. I'm also doing the one tomorrow, so you should come down and say hi to me if you're at that soccer game.
We are. Real quick, it's Rowan's birthday tomorrow. Hi, Rowan. That's my wife.
Happy birthday.
So we are going to go to the Tennessee Duke game.
Okay.
Yeah, check that out.
We'll talk about that later. Also, but I'll see you there. We're going to talk about Tennessee Duke in just a minute. But yeah, this game definitely, it was a good match because SMU, that Southern Methodist University in Texas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, Dallas.
Yes. And yes, they are, they're a good team. I believe, have been ranked in years past as well in soccer as well. So it was just, it was a good match. They were, neck and neck with each other pretty much, if that's the right. Yeah, pretty much right there with each other. So it was definitely, although the score and is a tie, which, might you might think that it was not a good match. No, it was definitely, not boring, definitely good to watch. It was just both these teams playing their hardest against each other for sure. So this Lady Vols team, although, soccer ends in ties, it sucks. it does. But it's still, this Lady Vol team is still really good, I think, especially with brand new coach coming in. Why am I forgetting his name? After Brian Pensky.
Joe Kirk.
Yes, Joe Kirk. Coming in, definitely, I was right there on the sidelines, definitely has so much energy and definitely cares so much about this team already. He knows all the girls' names, as a coach should, but yeah, obviously, but he's into it. He's definitely a coach that is, one of those that you're going to have to just go see in person and watch for sure. And as we're moving on to Tennessee versus Duke, that's tomorrow. Duke is number 2 in the nation for women's college soccer right now. So that is definitely going to be a matchup you're going to want to see. If you have the time tomorrow at 7 p.m., go down to the Regal Soccer Stadium because see Chris, see me. It's going to be a great match for sure. And this Lady Vols soccer team is serious. That I think that they might, although they did get a new coach, I think they could go far in the SEC this year like they did last year.
Hey, preseason SEC favorites to win. So that's all I got to say there.
Yeah. If you didn't know, they were SEC champs last year. So
absolutely, Devin, what you got for us?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I was at the Tennessee volleyball exhibition game against Belmont. Saw a lot of good things from the team. Before I discuss that real quick, again, yes, good luck to the Lady Vols soccer team. The Dukies, not going to be easy to beat. Duke is going to be tough, but this is fantastic because Tennessee gets to play a lot of great teams in this early season, and it's not about how you start, it's how you finish. So playing these tough teams, that's going to get you geared up. And the volleyball team, same thing. So volleyball, they played Belmont, and there were tons of positives from the game. Morgan Fingal, one of Tennessee's 3 SEC preseason All-SEC team selections. She was fantastic on offense, clearly a weapon at double-digit kills in the game. Just through 2 frames. I didn't even play the 3rd frame at all, and Tennessee was still able to win. They won each frame 25-20, so they won 3-0. And you look at that and you say, okay, that's pretty good, but we also have to keep in mind Belmont went 9-20 last season. So this isn't a super great team. They clearly made some changes, made some improvements. But you just got to hope that this is a sign of Belmont improving a lot and not Tennessee falling back a lot, because it shouldn't have really been quite that close. Belmont was in a lot of those games before falling apart at the end of each of those sets. So, but we'll find out what Tennessee is really made of on Saturday. They're hosting the Tennessee Classic. They'll play Loyola Chicago. Then they'll play Bowling Green State, but then they'll play number 13 Purdue. So the volleyball team is a serious team to play up against. Tennessee volleyball, they've got a tough schedule. They play Purdue. They at some point this season play a top 10 Ohio State team who knocked them out of the tournament last season. So Tennessee looking for revenge against Ohio State, who I believe is ranked number 6 right now. Kentucky is the pick to win the SEC, but then Florida and Tennessee are both right behind that. So it is possible that Tennessee could win the SEC this year. They just have to perform better outside of TBA, because with the Tennessee Vol fans at home, Tennessee plays fantastic, because of course we got some of the best fans in the entire nation. But Tennessee going on the road, they got to find a way to win those games. And the other concern is Danielle Mahaffey. I haven't heard anything new about this, but she did go down with a leg injury early in the second frame, and it did not look super good. I hope that she gets a speedy recovery because she is a very great defensive player, but I've not heard anything new on that. So that could be a critical loss for Tennessee this season.
Also, well, first of all, I want to clarify when I was saying SEC champs, I was talking about soccer, not volleyball. Volleyball is a different story, I feel like. But yeah, for volleyball, on the other hand, Devin, also someone that Tennessee lost is very important is Lily Feltz, arguably one of their, she was one of their star players, and she's a Knoxville native, I believe, but she transferred to Florida Gulf Coast University to play for volleyball there. So that is definitely a huge loss. Arguably the best player on that Tennessee volleyball team last season.
Yeah, and just looking back at last season, I mean, let's just go through it. They were 20-10. Devin mentioned how good they were at home. They were 12-3 at home, but 5-7 away. 11-7 overall in the conference, but yeah, that 5-7 away record has to get better, and the schedule is really tough. Devin touched on it a bit, but they're going to open up the Loyola Chicago, Bowling Green, Purdue. That's all games in the Tennessee Classic, and Ohio State's mid-September. So yeah, some tough outings here for the volleyball team, but let's see what happens.
I did also want to touch on as well, because Chloe, you mentioned a key player lost in the transfer portal. However, Tennessee does bring in sophomore Erica Lovett, who transfers in from Long Beach State, and she had a fantastic debut with Tennessee. She really stepped it up when Mahaffey went down. Of course, they played different positions, but that's besides the point. She really stepped it up. She was incredible at Long Beach State. Long Beach State is no slouch. Just like in baseball and in volleyball, Long Beach State is a pretty darn good team. And she was one of the top high school players in the nation. So her transferring to Tennessee, she's only a sophomore. If she continues to step it up for the Vols, then that is a huge transfer win, considering the huge transfer loss.
Yeah, Erica Lovett is definitely a big one. You know, she's taken over the outside hitter position that Lily Feltz was. So, you know, if she does good, hopefully she'll fit right back in, and they at least won't have a loss, and they'll only have room to get better.
Yes, and that is, of course, for Lady Volleyball. I want to remind everyone out there they are starting off their season after a exhibition win versus Belmont. Again, they will be playing host to Loyola on Friday, Loyola Chicago, if I'm not mistaken there, and Bowling Green and Purdue on Saturday. So, again, go down there and check out your Lady Vols. Volleyball is also an incredible atmosphere. And, again, for soccer, another incredible atmosphere. Playing number 2 Duke tomorrow. Do not forget it, 7 p.m. It is the third straight ranked opponent for the Lady Vols to start the season. So, despite all the preseason awards and expectations, they are being thrown through the gauntlet very early. That being said, we're going to go ahead and go to another break. We will be back on the other side. I will give a quick Smokies update as well as Nashville SC, and then we will get into the NFL talk a little bit about how Josh Dobbs and John Kelly absolutely went off for Cleveland, as well as get into the Titans-Cardinals preview. Stay tuned. This is the Wednesday night edition of Rock Solid Sports right here on WUTK 90.3 The Rock.
We are WUTK 90.3 FM, Knoxville, Tennessee. Rockin' ears for 40 years.
It's Wednesday, time for Rock Solid Sports.
Pitch hit high in the air into left field, and that ball is gone. George Beck has given Tennessee the lead. Christian Scott, the leap at the fence. He robs a home run.
Sponsored by Fieldhouse Social, the modern sports bar next to campus at University Commons. FieldhouseSocial.com.
Ben Joyce kicks and delivers. Strike 3.
Rock Solid Sports, the only show with a home field advantage for UT Athletics. Here's tonight's host.
And thank you so much for bearing with us. We apologize for the technical difficulty we were experiencing, but we got everything back up and going thanks to our fantastic station manager and Benny Smith. Thank you so much for your help. We are back rolling. I've got Chloe, our Friday night host, here in the studio with me. Again, I am your host for Wednesday night. This is Chris Clarke, and I do have my guys on StreamYard, Devin, Justin, and Dominic. I know that we had talked about getting into the NFL and, of course, previewing the Titans and Cardinals. I don't believe, unfortunately, we're going to have enough time for that. So I do want to say, give a quick update on what's going on with your local sports. We have the Smokies update currently at 24-22. They are second in the North Division, 4-6 in the last 10 games. And they will be hosting Rocket City, those Trash Pandas, through Sunday. So plenty of time for them to catch up in that North Division as Rocket City is sitting at that top spot. And this is with September 18th being the last game. That is quickly approaching. I also want to give a quick update on Nashville SC. Their season is also abruptly ending very soon, but they are currently moved up to the 6th spot in the Western Conference after a shellacking to Dallas FC 4-0. So Nashville SC continuing to climb. They have a long road to go to still try and maintain playoff positioning. And that's all I have for your local news. I'm going to kick it to Chloe and the guys over real quick. Final thoughts as we head into this weekend.
Yeah, super excited. What sport? Any sport?
Any sport, soccer.
Oh, I didn't know if we were like focusing on something. Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
Like
we don't have enough time.
Okay. Okay. I'm super excited. Obviously for tomorrow, Thursday. It's not the weekend, but it is going to be, the Lady Vols versus Duke. Super exciting. Come on down. It's gonna be good weather. It's supposed to be like overcast and 80, so you have no excuse not to be there unless, of course, you have an excuse. So definitely come on down. I'm super excited for that. Also, volleyball. We talked about that during the weekend. Going to be super exciting. Definitely all these sports. And it's all just leading up to next Thursday, football. And I want to say one more thing. Sterl the Pearl, a.k.a. Sterling Hinton, it is official, will be on with us next Wednesday, 7 to 8 p.m. Former UT quarterback and also, of course, the DJ that is at all of the Tennessee home games. And if you don't know him, definitely go to his website, look up Sterling Hinton. Great guy. Super excited to actually get to meet him and, of course, have him on our show to talk. It's going to be the night before, right before the season opener on Thursday, but he will be on Wednesday, 7 to 8 p.m. here on 90.3 The Rock. So definitely tune in. Super exciting. And thanks for tuning in tonight as well.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Chloe, for reminding everybody out there. We have Sterl the Pearl coming next week. All my guys on StreamYard, Dominic, Justin, Devin, thank y'all so much for being here tonight. Of course, you guys will also get to join in on that Sterl the Pearl wonderful conversation that we will have next week. Everyone, thank you so much for bearing with us through our technical difficulties, as well as through another great edition of Rock Solid Sports. We appreciate your patronage and everything. Thank you so much for allowing us to do what we do.
For 90.3 The Rock's The Alternative, featuring 2 hours of a variety of Americana music from the radio station who first turned Knoxville onto this music in the 1980s when it was